It began with just $1 on a busy afternoon in Los Angeles. As tourists crowded Hollywood Boulevard, a homeless man named Dave sat quietly in his usual corner. His cardboard sign simply read, "Hungry. Anything helps." As was often the case, people passed by without making eye contact. On this day, a tall man approached Dave. When Dave looked up, he found himself face to face with Shaquille O'Neal, NBA Hall of Famer and business mogul, although he did not recognize him immediately. Shaquille O'Neal paused and asked Dave if he was genuinely hungry. Dave responded by asking for just $1. However, fate had other plans. The basketball legend positioned himself so they were at eye level. When he asked Dave how he was doing, it felt more meaningful than just a simple question. It was a gesture that stood out, especially compared to all the times Dave had been ignored. Surprised by the genuine attention, Dave found his voice. He honestly shared his situation, explaining that all he needed was a meal. The basketball player offered to buy him a meal instead of giving him $1, and this left Dave confused and unsure of what was happening. As they walked down the street, Dave couldn't help but notice people staring at them. Some even pulled out their phones to snap pictures, making him feel even more uneasy. The sudden attention made Dave anxious, and he turned to the man, asking why everyone was looking at them. The man pulled down his sunglasses, revealing a face Dave instantly recognized. It was Shaquille O'Neal. Dave's jaw dropped as he processed the reality of the situation. The man standing before him, offering a simple meal, was not just any stranger. It was none other than Shaquille O'Neal, the NBA legend and business mogul, renowned for his dominance on the basketball court and his ventures in the world of entrepreneurship. For a brief moment, Dave questioned whether he was imagining it, but the genuine warmth in Shaq's smile confirmed it was real. Dave was surprised when he realized the man standing before him was Shaquille O'Neal, the famous NBA player and business mogul. Despite the shock, Shaq stayed calm and didn't make a big deal about being recognized. He focused on the important part of the meeting, the opportunity Dave was about to receive. It was clear that what was coming next was far more important than any initial surprise. Upon entering the restaurant, the aroma of barbecue was enough to stir memories of meals he had not had in a long time. Shaquille O'Neal, recognizing the significance of the moment, led Dave toward the counter, where the cashier's eyes widened in disbelief as she realized who had entered. Shaq, ever humble despite his fame, was greeted with excitement, and the cashier immediately asked for his autograph. However, Shaq, with his usual down-to-earth attitude, simply smiled and waved it off. He reassured her that they were there for a meal, not attention. He emphasized that the focus was on providing Dave with a genuine dining experience, not on his celebrity status. This simple act of prioritizing Dave's experience highlighted the underlying kindness behind Shaq's gesture, putting the needs of others before his fame. Shaq told Dave to order whatever he wanted. Dave hesitated at first, overwhelmed by the menu options, but Shaq told him to take his time and assured him that it was all good. Dave finally decided on a pulled pork sandwich, mac and cheese, and sweet tea. Shaq, ever the generous host, added a rib platter and cornbread muffins to the order before paying with a neat $100 bill, telling the cashier to keep the change. Shaq asked Dave how he ended up on the streets, and Dave shared the hardships he had faced, such as losing his job, getting evicted, and struggling to get back on his feet. Before meeting Shaquille O'Neal, Dave's life had been a constant struggle. He had once lived a regular life, working a steady job and paying rent for a small apartment. However, things began to fall apart when he lost his job due to company downsizing. Without the security of income, Dave quickly fell behind on bills. His landlord grew impatient, and soon he was faced with eviction. With nowhere to go, Dave found himself on the streets. The transition from stability to homelessness was jarring. Dave had never imagined his life would take such a drastic turn. At first, he tried to find other work, but without a permanent address or the right resources, it was difficult to get hired. Days turned into weeks and the situation grew more desperate. He spent his days on the streets, walking through busy areas of the city, hoping for a small amount of change, just enough to get by. His nights were spent in alleys or parks, trying to stay warm and avoid the harsh realities of homelessness. Many people passed him by without a second glance, some even avoiding eye contact altogether. Over time, Dave began to feel invisible. He felt like he had been forgotten by society, as if no one cared about the man he had once been. His self-esteem took a huge hit, and he wondered if things would ever change. Despite the challenges, Dave held onto a small hope that things might improve. Though his days were filled with frustration and uncertainty, he never gave up on the belief that change was possible. He kept pushing forward, getting by as best as he could, always holding onto the hope that something would come along to change his life. Shaq listened to Dave carefully, offering nothing but understanding and kindness. He didn't interrupt or judge, just letting Dave speak. When the meal was finished, Dave tried to express his thanks, but Shaq waved it off with a smile. He told Dave that there was no need for gratitude. According to Shaq, everyone deserves a little help now and then. But then, just when Dave thought the day had reached its end, Shaq added that the day was far from over. There was more to come, and it was clear that something even bigger was in store for Dave. Shaq told Dave that he needed more than just food, he needed a fresh start. So they headed to a nearby spa where Shaq arranged for Dave to get a haircut, a shave, and a hot shower. Although Dave hesitated, unsure if a place like that would accept someone like him, Shaq reassured him by saying that everyone deserved to feel good about themselves. He added that Dave didn't have to be someone else. He just had to be himself. At the spa, Dave was treated better than he had ever been before. The stylist fixed his matted hair, gave him a smooth shave, and helped him through a relaxing shower. When he came out, dressed in clean clothes that Shaq had picked up for him earlier, Dave barely recognized himself. He looked and felt like a new man. But Shaq was not done yet. He took Dave shopping for new clothes, picking out jeans, shirts, sneakers, and even a warm jacket. At the checkout, Shaq paid for everything without hesitation, making sure Dave had what he needed to start over. Dave, feeling overwhelmed by the generosity, tried to refuse, but Shaq insisted. He told Dave to promise that, once he was back on his feet, he would help someone else in need. With a full stomach, clean clothes, and a renewed sense of hope, Dave set out to rebuild his life. The shelter Shaq had connected him to provided the support he needed to get back on track. He found a job, saved up money, and began looking for a place to stay. Months later, Dave reflected on that day with Shaq and the kindness that had turned his life around. For Shaquille O'Neal, it was not about the attention or the publicity. It was about doing what was right, passing on the blessings he had received, and offering a hand to someone in need. For Dave, that day marked the beginning of a new chapter and a reminder that no one is ever truly invisible. Dave's life has transformed significantly since that fateful day with Shaquille O'Neal. After experiencing so much kindness and support from Shaq, Dave found himself on a path of recovery and rebuilding that he had never thought possible. With the help of the shelter, he began to receive counseling, which allowed him to finally face and process the years of trauma and hardship that had led him to live on the streets. In addition to counseling, Dave also participated in job placement programs that offered him a chance to find stable work and create a new future. He attended workshops that focused on life skills, teaching him valuable lessons about responsibility, communication, and personal growth. These programs provided him with the tools and support needed to make gradual, steady progress. With each passing day, he began to rebuild his life, one small step at a time, all thanks to the foundation of kindness, guidance, and opportunity he had received. He regained his confidence, something that had been stripped away over years of feeling invisible. With a new sense of confidence, Dave was able to find a part-time job at a local restaurant. It wasn't a glamorous position, but it was an important first step. That job became his anchor, providing a steady source of income that allowed him to regain his work ethic and start thinking about his future. Though the job wasn't easy and the work was demanding, Dave was determined to succeed. There were days when he struggled to keep up with the fast pace and the responsibilities, but he didn't give up. He also got support from colleagues who knew his story. They encouraged and helped him adapt to the new environment. As the months passed, Dave's situation slowly began to improve. He continued to live frugally, always focused on saving as much as he could. His goal was long-term stability, and he wasn't going to let anything or anyone stand in his way. His hard work, determination, and patience paid off when he was able to move into his apartment. It was not luxurious, but it was his space. Inspired by Shaquille O'Neal's kindness, Dave realized he had been given an opportunity to help others. So he started volunteering at the same shelter that had helped him. He became a mentor to others who were experiencing homelessness. He shared his story with them, showing them that recovery was possible and that there was always a way out if they were willing to take the first step. Dave knew firsthand how a single act of kindness could change the course of someone's life. As he continued to mentor others, Dave became a beacon of hope in his community. He gained a reputation for his humility, generosity, and the strength he had shown in rebuilding his life. People admired him not just for his resilience, but for his willingness to share his success with others. But Dave did not stop there. In his spare time, he began taking classes in business management, something that had always interested him. This was another step toward securing a future where he could help more people, perhaps even starting his own nonprofit to support those in need. Shaq's impact goes far beyond the court. With the support of close friends and mentors, he's made a habit of helping those in need, guiding young athletes, and partnering with organizations dedicated to uplifting underserved communities. While his fame opened doors, it's moments like the one he shared with Dave and the relationships he's built along the way that truly define Shaq's lasting legacy. Years after that pivotal moment, Dave has found success. He holds a stable job, enjoys a comfortable lifestyle, and now guides others who are on the same journey he once struggled through. His story has evolved into one of resilience, transformation, and the remarkable influence of kindness. No longer invisible, Dave is now a proactive, involved member of his community, offering support and hope to those around him. Shaquille O'Neal is celebrated by many for his legendary NBA career, his commanding presence, and his impressive accomplishments both on and off the court. Yet what often goes unnoticed is the extent of his influence outside of basketball. Over time, Shaquille O'Neal has become one of the most compassionate and giving public figures, regularly using his fame, resources, and platform to better the lives of those in need. Shaquille's generosity began long before his encounter with Dave. Throughout his career, he donated millions to charities, with a particular focus on those providing food, education, and shelter to the less fortunate. He regularly worked with organizations such as the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, supporting programs that empower young people, and he's known for giving back to local communities through sports camps, educational programs, and wellness initiatives. In addition to education and mentorship, Shaquille O'Neal has shown a particular passion for mental health awareness. He has championed initiatives aimed at helping young people, particularly those from challenging backgrounds and those coping with trauma and adversity. His focus on mental health is a testament to his understanding of the complex struggles faced by many, and he has used his position to raise awareness and provide resources for those who need it most. Shaq's giving is not just about monetary donations. It's about being present and engaged in the causes he cares about. His approach to philanthropy is hands-on, whether it's through delivering food to the homeless, hosting events for underprivileged children, or offering mentorship to young athletes. Shaq has proven time and time again that his generosity goes far beyond just writing a check. It's about giving his time, his energy, and his attention to causes that matter. Shaq is not only known for his basketball career, but also for his success as a businessman. He has invested in numerous companies and owns stakes in various businesses, including restaurant chains, real estate, and tech startups. His business portfolio also includes his role as a brand ambassador for multiple companies, including Gold Bond and the General Insurance. Shaquille O'Neal has long been an advocate for his hometown of Newark, New Jersey. He helped renovate local basketball courts and has been involved in a variety of community outreach programs designed to empower youth and uplift struggling neighborhoods. He has also served as a reserve police officer in several different states. His desire to give back to the community extended into law enforcement, where he has worked on helping communities through direct engagement with the police force. Whether through his acts of generosity or his investment in the future of young people, Shaq has become a true icon, not just in basketball, but in the lives of those he has helped along the way. His story is a powerful reminder of how one person can make a lasting difference. What do you think of Big Shaq's response? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. We will see you in the next video.